Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for March 2024. How could I forget? We're going to jump right in here. You have this beaver spirit. It says, lay a solid foundation. You have this bobcat. It says, life is a mystery. Yes, it is. So, I feel for a lot of you. I feel that you've been working on a new kind of like, foundation for a while, Cancer. So it doesn't really surprise me. I think that your foundation has a lot to do with work or like what you do for work. Yeah, you have this butterfly, which is like a transformation as well. So I feel that some of you maybe have been trying to figure out what you want to do in work, even if you're like 70 years old. Maybe you still want to figure out like what you want to be when you grow up, or you're trying to figure out like what direction you want to move in. And I really see that here quite a bit in the reading, or it's kind of like more energetic in energy that I feel here. You have the Five of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles. The Five of Cups can represent regrets, but you have two cards of victory here. You have the Knight of Pentacles, which can represent progress. So I don't really see regrets here. I think that some of you are releasing something, that where there were regrets or where there was sadness. I don't even think it was regrets on your part. Maybe you got out of a relationship, or you got out of some sort of situation like in work or business. And I feel that that's what this Five of Cups is talking about. Really good. The other thing is, is that, the card, fives to me have very easy solutions in the tarot. The solution to the Five of Cups is to turn around, see these two cups, then you get this bridge and the castle. But the Five of Cups represents something that has overstayed its welcome. The Five of Cups, he's grieving the loss of his taste for wine. That's a story of the card, but he doesn't even enjoy it anymore. So it's like it's kind of like one of those, if it's a relationship, it's one of those relationships where you are thinking about leaving anyway and then it ends, but then you're sad that it ended. It's like that. So I feel for some of you that it doesn't have to be love. This could be anything. Could be a job that you left or you lost or something. Could be any other situation. But, again, if you turn around, this is what you get, the entire reading, which is freaking amazing, right? You have the Ace of Swords, which can be a victory. Definitely with the Chariot, I definitely feel it is a victory. To me, the Ace of Swords is laser-like focus, needing to be very focused on something that you want to accomplish and needing to set out and accomplish it, whatever it is. The sword is also above the mountains, which is standing out to me for you here, Cancer. The sword being above the mountain says, like, there will always be challenges in life, but, moving forward, you will always be able to easily overcome those challenges. You have the Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles can represent progress. Normally, I'm not a big fan of the Knight of Pentacles. To me, the Knight of Pentacles is like no movement. He needs to get moving. He's the only knight in the tarot that isn't moving. So I feel sometimes that he can represent no movement. But again, I read intuitively, and I do feel you are making progress. I feel like I feel this month, like March, if you haven't been making progress, I kind of feel like last year was slow for you, and you wanted things to move forward quicker, and maybe you became a little bit withdrawn last year because things were slower. And I just see things speeding up from March forward, really. I don't trust psychic timing at all. As I always say, the universe doesn't wear a watch. Things happen when they're supposed to happen. But I really do feel like March could be one of those months that stands out to you in 2024, where, like, looking back at the end of the year, you might be like, wow, March was the year where, or March was the month that I started moving forward, or March was when I made that decision that helped move me forward in my life, or, whatever the case may be. So I really like where this is going so far. Let's see. With the Five of Cups, you have the Queen of Swords twice here, going this way. See, this tells me that you're about to make a decision, Two of Pentacles, but you already know the answer, Cancer. So just make the decision that you're going to make anyway, is what I feel like saying. The Queen of Swords sees things clearly for the first time. She's also pointing this direction here, and, she sees the Empress, the Ten of Cups, which is like happy home, happy family, and all this other stuff. So, it doesn't have to be love. The Ten of Cups can just be whatever will bring you happiness. And, I feel that you see something that will bring you happiness. I would just choose it. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Chariot twice here. Crazy. I'm pretty sure it's you that recently has been getting a lot of repeating cards in their readings. And right off the bat, you have two here, two here. Again, repeating cards does not happen as much as you would think. Again, for the most part, really, I don't see very many readings with like a ton of repeating cards. So to me, this is a major confirmation from the universe. There's definitely a victory coming in for you. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Hangman here. Yeah, I feel like you've the Hangman could be Pisces, but I feel more that this is kind of talking about an answer that you already have. What did I just say? I can't remember. I just said something about how, it's almost like you already know the answer to something and you just need to make that choice. This could be in love, could be in business, could be, whatever it is. But I feel like there's some sort of choice that you already see clearly. You've gained the enlightenment right here. And making this choice could lead to like a glow up, could lead to love. We all have different goals. So whatever your goal is, 10 of Cups can represent, manifesting something on earth. And it looks like that's what you're doing here. Next, you have this raccoon in this butterfly card. Again, the raccoon is kind of like about using certain skills that you have. The butterfly is about a transformation, but it can also represent something that is in a fragile state. When a butterfly hatches from its cocoon, it kind of has to like pump its wings up. And butterflies are very fragile in the first place. I think it's interesting that you have the beaver spirit as well. The beaver says laying a solid foundation. So, it's just kind of popping into my head that if you're starting something new, I would focus on those like foundational structural things. Like I would be focusing on structure. How can you make something more solid? If it's a relationship, it's like, do you need to commit to a person? If it's, or even do you need to make sure that you're both putting in the work to keep the romance alive? It's like, there's a million things you can do. Same thing in business as well. It's like, if you want to start a business, it's like, do you have a YouTube channel? Could you build a website? Could you do something that makes it more real here on earth? It's like, that's how I think about this butterfly card sometimes, is it's really saying, how can you make something, how can you bring it more into this reality? How can you make it more of a sure thing? And, that's how I would be thinking on whatever it is that you're creating. It doesn't even matter. And yes, you can pretend, by the way. So, maybe you want love and you don't have love and you want a relationship. Take yourself out on dates. Go do things that you would do if you were in love. The problem that most people have is they say they want love and they sit around at home all day. So, again, if you want love, you have to go be in love. And, there's like a million things you can do. And I would go do them, whatever those things are. So you have the Chariot here. The Chariot is a victory. The Chariot is also your card, comes up twice here, really puts you in a very strong position. When you show up as yourself, as your own major arcana, puts you in a position of power and strength. So I see a lot of success and growth coming in for you here, and a victory as well. You have the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is about a great deal of clarity. Personally, I love the Queen of Swords. There's definitely times where, she could be challenging. I always tell people, I consider myself to, like, I read holistically. I take every single card here, I put it all together, right? I read diagonals and, all this other stuff. But if you look around here, all positive cards. So, again, that's why I would read her in the affirmative in this reading. And she sees things clearly for the first time. She understands what she needs to do, or, what direction she needs to move in. I also feel like you see, it doesn't matter what gender you are, by the way, I feel like you see the things you need to do to get into, Empress status, or, whatever you want to call it. The Empress is all about like pampering yourself, taking care of yourself. She's a card of luxury and quality as well. And so anything you can do to, increase the quality of your experience here on earth is always a good idea with the Empress. And it's not necessarily, again, I like to remind people, it's not necessarily about spending money even, but it's about like, can you, again, there's something here in this reading, if you can't tell, about needing to mimic the energy of success, right? It's like even this Chariot card. This Chariot card is as above, so below. There's stars up here, moons down here. It's like there's something here of you needing to like develop the structure of what you want. It's like even if you want to be successful and like you have no money, but you want to dress like success, for example. I always tell people, it's like, I have a buddy who makes crazy money. He goes to the Goodwill. He buys like he finds all these designer clothes and he resells them for like crazy prices, and they sell for nothing at Goodwill. So I always tell people, it's like, if you have no money, but you want to dress for success, go to the Goodwill. There's like, they have designer stuff there, super expensive stuff, and start buying it and dressing in it. It's just that simple. It's like, where there's a will, there's a way. Speaking of the will. So, the Empress to me always says like, you don't have to like, spend all this money and do all this stuff to, kind of give off this energy of success. And, you just have to find a way. And again, where there's a will, there's a way. There's millions of different ways to do all of those things, right? You have the Three of Wands here. Three of Wands is a card of expansion and growth. And so I feel it would be an amazing time for you to expand, whatever that means for you. Let's see. With the Chariot, are you kidding? You have the Star here. This is a pretty good reading. This is definitely going in a good direction. We get major glow up vibes here. I also feel that some of you could be getting into a connection with a person that is like a little bit of a glow up. Like maybe the person, maybe being with the person feels like a glow up or something like that. Definitely popping into my head. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, no rushing at this time. Knight of Swords he's always going this way, right? And I always say with the Knight of Swords that sometimes I shouldn't say I always feel this, but sometimes I feel that he kind of represents getting very close to something and then turning around and like running away from it. So I feel that you are about to become successful, and like I wouldn't start worrying about it. I wouldn't start worrying about it right now. It's like I've worked with a lot of business people in my day, and it's like I can tell you like so many successful businesses I've worked with, they'll be like, oh my God, we're making $100,000 a month, and what happens if we stop making money? I'm like, yeah, but you're making $100,000 a month. Most people don't make that in a freaking year. Like, chill out, calm down, everything's going great. And not only that, you've done it once, right? You can do it again, even if everything falls apart. And I kind of get that feeling for you right here, Cancer, where I feel that Empress is like saying, like, don't be afraid of the Empress status. If you start making more money, or if you start becoming more successful, or if you get into a relationship that's like very successful or really happy, I feel like this is saying like you've done it. That's all the proof that you need that you're going to continue to be successful. So there you go. With the Three of Wands, you have the Five of Pentacles. Something is preventing you from, maybe just a little bit, right, is preventing you from taking a leap of faith. Three of Wands to me says that you see an opportunity. Three of Wands is basically my card of what are you waiting for? It says you need to kind of jump out on those boats and go on an adventure. And so I feel that here, where maybe you feel like a part of you doesn't feel good enough or whatever. Five of Pentacles has, I always say fives have very easy solutions. Five of Pentacles says, do not call attention to your weaknesses. You need to focus on your strengths. So, again, I think you need to focus on all the reasons why something is right for you. Obviously, don't focus on the wrong reasons. You have this message in a bottle card and this round and round card. This message in a bottle card can represent receiving positive communication. You have the Page of Pentacles, which obviously could be positive communication. I always look at the Page of Pentacles as good news, or, as receiving good news. So I do feel that for a lot of you, you could be receiving good news, or you could be receiving guidance, or something like that as well. I see a lot of happiness coming in here. So again, if you're receiving news, I think it's something that's going to make you happy. You have this card of the past at the end. I want to show you this here, Cancer. You can see she's answering this phone. I'm going to read this card to you in a minute. I don't really feel that this is necessarily someone from the past. I think that you could be attracting a person who, what I will say is Page of Pentacles to me is specifically a new person. But what I would say is I do kind of, looking around here, feel that some of you could be connecting with a person that you feel like you never got a chance with, or you lost out on. Definitely popping into my head. So I don't think you ever dated this person. I feel that it was just more, maybe you like know of a person, or you met a person, and maybe they were like with another person, when you met them or something. And that's kind of the feeling I get here off of the Page of Pentacles. For some of you, I feel it's definitely someone brand spanking new. I never met them. Don't even know who they are. I think it's just a new person who's rushing into your life. I'm also getting something here about studying popping into my head. The Page of Pentacles is the card of studiousness. So if you are studying, if you are studious or working on something, I see a lot of success coming in there, like in school. So if you're in school, or if you're learning something new or something, really good. You have the Empress. Major increase in your abundance. I really feel really good about this year, especially for water signs. So, I think there's a lot of abundant opportunities. I think for water signs, it's really important that we end this situation. I don't even think we talked about this round and round thing. And so I feel the round and round card is saying that there is a part of you that doesn't believe you can have something. And we all have this. This is not a, criticism or anything. We all have money blocks and things we need to get over and stuff like that. And I feel like this is saying like you need to truly believe that you can have something, even if you have to brainwash yourself. I'm a big fan of brainwashing. I tell people all the time, like literally I sit here every single day. I write my affirmations here. This notebook is almost done. People always ask me, like, what do you do with the the pages when you're done with them. I just throw them out. So that's it. And so I'm convinced that writing affirmations every single day. I've been doing it for many years now. And some days I just write 10, right? I'll just pick like one. Other days I like write 100. It just depends on how I feel. But I'm convinced that it's like one of the things that's totally changed my life. So I think the thing with affirmations is you have to do it over time because your brain doesn't believe it. Like if you write, I make $1 million a year, your brain is like, no, you don't. You're stupid. You're this, you're that, right? So you have to really, brainwash yourself. And, I kind of feel that energy here with the Empress card that she's saying you really need to get to that place of really believing that you can do something. You have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles, work hard, play hard. Make sure to balance your energy. I would make sure that you're not putting like too much energy into something, and that's what I would say here. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles is a card of like a big opportunity, growth, and abundance. I feel that for a lot of you that there is some sort of big opportunity coming in for you here. I feel like there's a big win coming in with the Ace of Pentacles, so I really like that. If this is a love opportunity, I would take it. With the Empress, you have the Judgment card. Yes, definitely a wake-up call. Like I said, I feel that some of you could be, kind of connecting with a person that you feel like you lost out on. It's kind of weird. Again, I don't think this is a person from the past, but I do feel it's a person, maybe for like 50% of you or 60% of you. It's like a person or maybe you met them and they were with another person, right? And I definitely see that happening here. I'm telling you right now, I feel this could be, a person you have a family with. Even if you don't want a family, it could just be a very deep connection. So I really like where this is going. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the World. Damn. I don't like this reading is very, very good, Cancer. I don't know. I really didn't have my hopes up that much for March. So I don't know. It's kind of just like surprising to me. Pisces, I've only done you and Pisces today. Both readings have been awesome. So, just like a little bit surprising to me. We do in the major arcana, we do go from Judgment to the World. And so this tells me that you're ending a cycle and you have this round card here. So it's clear to me that you're ending some sort of cycle. And in the major arcana, when we go to the World, we start all over again as a Fool. I follow the Fool's journey in the tarot. So, as far as I'm concerned, we go from the Fool to the World, and then we just start all over again. So we're just always going through that cycle. You have this Beauty card. It says somehow your looks will boost. You cannot make this up. I didn't even see this card. I don't even know what these cards say. It says somehow your looks will boost your earning power. I literally told you something about going to the Goodwill. I was babbling on about that. I apologize for the rant, but what I would say here is I feel like there is something here about you needing to like dress for success. Empress really does represent that anyway, but there's something here about like you needing to do that. But this doesn't even have to do with just your looks. This could have to do with like the energy you give off. It could have to do with cleaning up your environment, the energy around you, and things like that. I think that would be really good for you. You have this Past card, but again, I think it would be good for all of you, again, to go like dress for success in whatever way you can. Go to the Goodwill, but find designer clothes for cheap or whatever. I think it would really, really help for whatever reason. It's popping into my head. You have this Past card. It says, the past is coming back. Old job or old connection. Look to the past to understand the future, a lesson, or an old skill. I feel that for some of you, we already talked about this, but definitely could be communicating with a person from the past. Not like you've been with them, like I said, but definitely kind of something going on there. So there you go. You have the the Strength. I wanted to say the Emperor, which is weird, but you have the Strength card. So maybe you're going to have an Emperor coming in for you. The Strength card says you've been very patient. I do feel like saying worth the wait. I think whatever is coming in here, it has been worth the wait. And I feel like you're going to be very happy with the results of this month and probably moving forward. You have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is my card of fortune after difficulty. Good things happening after a difficult period of time. But I really feel that you could be attracting a person that you have a family with, that you have a very strong connection with, something where there is a lot of happiness. So I love it. You have the Two of Cups. Everybody's been getting the Two of Cups since like 2020. I think the only love readings I've ever done on this channel were in 2020 or 2021. I can't really remember. And I feel like you could be attracting a person that you have a very deep connection with. But Two of Cups has been coming up a lot. And Two of Cups is someone who's different than your usual type. So there could be some sort of difference going on here. With the Strength card, you have the Strength card. More repeating cards. Could be a Leo coming in for some of you. But I would say that, I feel like you could be attracting a person who's strong, who's mentally strong, and maybe mentally and physically strong, both. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Four of Pentacles. Tons of stability, a lot of happiness. This is like an amazing foundation, for that Ten of Cups. And with the Two of Cups, you have, of course, you have to have something that throws everything off. You have the Three of Swords, but again, coming up in the good stuff. So I would say that you could be attracting a person that heals your heart. Like, I don't think anyone can heal our heart. We have to do it ourselves. But, it's like maybe this person, makes you believe in love again. Or, I feel like maybe you're just healing in general, and that's why you're attracting love into your life. So amazing reading. You have the Resistance card. I told you, Knight of Swords. I think that Knight of Swords is resistance to success. So again, don't run away when you start to become more successful. Not that you would, but I would just push through those feelings. You have this Lust card. And yeah, I feel like there's just a very strong connection coming in for you. Probably won't be able to keep your hands off each other. So there you go. You have the Isolation card. I feel like you or a person is pulling you out of isolation. So if you've been isolated in love, this could be a person who is kind of like opening you up or to the world, or kind of like getting you out of your shell. But again, it could be you could be doing this to a person. Maybe you are meeting a person who's been isolated and now you're pulling them out of isolation. Here you go. You have the Status card. This is one of my fancy couple cards. So definitely could be a person. You could be attracting a person who has status, or just by you being with a person could increase your status. So that looks amazing. Love it. And finally, you have this Riches card. Damn. I'm telling you, you could be attracting a person that's extremely successful, or, maybe the two of you are like a power couple. Even if you don't want love, and even if you do, this could just be you, kind of creating wealth with a person. And sorry, this is very creepy, but I'm going to show you. There's I don't know if you can see that, but there's two heads poking out here. So there you go. There's a couple in that horn or whatever it is. So I feel like this is kind of like a destined connection if you want love. And if you don't want love, I feel this could just be like a job or a business that you're working on that brings in wealth. But damn, Cancer, best reading ever. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.